Charles, for your Friday forecast.
All right, Christian, on this Friday, looking pretty good at the Inner Harbor. Current conditions, we can see lots of sunshine back there, and that temperature right now is at 70 degrees. It feels like 70, dew points coming in at 70, and with that, we do have a little bit of patchy fog in spots. So when the dew point temperature and the actual temperature, the exact same, voila, some fog around. And even when it's close, you can have some fog, and that's exactly what's going on this morning. The dew points elsewhere, look what's happening. 66 degrees in Parkton for a dew point, 67 in Thurmont, 72 in Stevensville and also Easton. So it is still on the muggy side for this morning. And even as we go into the afternoon, we're still going to feel a case of the muggies. And then it really won't be until tomorrow that we'll start to see some changes in the forecast. Temperature around Towson, 70 degrees right now. Pikesville, more of the same. Gwynn Oak, good morning to you. You're at 70, at 71 degrees around Canton this morning, and South Baltimore is at 72. So these temperatures are above the average of 67 degrees. As we go throughout the day, temperatures are still going to bump up a bit, as the highs I have right around 90 degrees. The satellite and radar not picking up on a lot. We will take it, right? We did have plenty of rain, the flooding concerns yesterday, the severe weather that we had yesterday. It was a rough go of things, but today much more benign, much calmer out there. We widen out the view and we can see what's going on. Really, your eye takes you down off towards the south, right? Because they're going to be dealing with plenty of issues across that area, all courtesy of Tropical Storm Barry. So the wind sustained with Barry right now at about 50 miles an hour. That's what makes it a tropical storm. It is moving to the west-northwest at about 5 miles an hour, so very slowly, and this is what could cause some problems as well. As it moves slowly, it's going to dump a lot of rain across the area. As this moves inland, we're looking at a problem there as well. So what we're going to be working with is storm surge as we go through time. So we do have storm surge watches and also those warnings. The water inundation is about 4 to 6 feet. You can see the colors here on the map this morning. Also through time, we're going to continue to watch and see if Barry becomes a hurricane. I'm thinking that it may run out of real estate, but it is possible that it could become a hurricane before it makes landfall because it's still moving over very warm waters. The future cast not picking up on a whole lot here at home as we work our way through the rest of today, tomorrow, and even Sunday. So let me tell you, the weekend is really going to be nice. Get out there and enjoy it as the humidity will be much lower, but it will be hot out there. But it's supposed to be hot, Lauren, because we are in July.
We certainly are. Thank you, Lynette. Unfortunately, we have some trouble spots on the roadways. There's a crash in Harford County, not far from the Baltimore County line. It's on Jarrettsville Pike at Schuster Road. More trouble in Essex. There's an accident on Back River Neck Road at Turkey Point Road, and in Edgemere, beware of a crash on North Point Road at Wells Avenue. If you're traveling in downtown Baltimore, unfortunately, Monday's water main break still impacting travel. Howard Street remains shut down between Conway and Lombard Street. Pratt Street impacted between Paca and Sharp. So you'll need to stick with Mulberry Street or Baltimore Street, and then northbound 395 is blocked right at Conway Street. You'll be forced to turn right, and then you'll need to access Charles Street or Light Street. There's no light rail service. Service expected to be shut down for weeks between North Avenue and Camden Yards. There are limited shuttle buses, though, in place. 895, 95, nice and clear. 83 in the green as well, and the Beltway, surprisingly, nice and calm here in Towson, and no trouble on the west side either. Christian?
Okay, Lauren, thanks very much. Today you can enjoy a summer favorite without ever leaving your home. Free icy treats being delivered. We'll show you how to get one. Plus, first it was Porch Pirates, now Dropbox Bandits stealing rent checks in our area. That story coming up as well. And Court TV's got a new case. This one concerns a worker at a nursing home now accused of murder. Here's what to expect today on the new Court TV.
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, our continuing coverage of Georgia versus Terrell. A caregiver at an assisted living facility has been charged with the death of one of his 91-year-old patients who was living there. Now, the prosecution has rested their case. The medical examiner testified that the man's death was consistent with being assaulted. Today, the defense puts on their expert, who's going to explain how the injuries sustained by this 91-year-old World War II veteran are not consistent with an assault, and the death was accidental. Our coverage today, live in Georgia, Georgia versus Terrell.
From the cast and crew of Artistic Children's Theater's Frozen Jr.
Good morning,
Hey, that's a very cute shout out. Thanks very much. And good morning to the Artistic Children's Theater performing Frozen Jr., which you can catch at St. James Academy today, tomorrow, and Saturday at 7 in the evening, as well as Sunday at 1 in the afternoon. The matinee. The entire cast under the age of 18. Great show. We got more information right now on the website, WMAR2news.com. Break a leg. 6:25 right now, 7-Eleven Day. It's history. But today you can still get a free Slurpee without even leaving your house to get it. The convenience store chain is delivering free small Slurpees today. You heard that right. I said delivering. And they're doing it in several cities, including Baltimore, one of the 27 cities where Slurpee delivery is available. They just want you to get the app. They want you to have 7-Eleven's app on your phone. And if you do, you can get yourself a free Slurpee. That yellow one looks pretty good. I don't think I've
deliver Slurpees.
They deliver Slurpees.
Just only Slurpees?
Oh, anything. No.
Oh,
They'll bring you whatever you want.
I'll take a
the
cherry Slurpee, please.
I like the blue flavor.
There you go with the blue.
So far this month, there's already been more than 600 cats and kittens adopted as part of the Maryland 2000 adoption event, which runs through the end of this month. 21 animal shelters across the state joining forces to find homes for as many felines as possible. So they've waived the adoption fees for cats and kittens. 30 vet clinics also taking part. So when you get the new cat or kitten, you get a free wellness exam for the cat or the kitten. And we got much more information on Maryland 2000 on the website right now, WMAR2news.com. But again, the main thing is it runs through July. If you want a new cat or kitten, this is the time to do it. There is a lot of options out there for people looking to cut the cord as they try to save money, but not all streaming services are created equal. We'll show you how to find the best one for you. And this is a live look right now at Bourbon Street, the French Quarter in New Orleans. The rain has started falling again. People in New Orleans and across really the Gulf Coast are leaving ahead of the approach of Tropical Storm Barry. An update on that situation when we come back as well. 6:27 right now.
Good morning, Maryland. I'm Elsa M. If you are struggling to make travel plans, have you considered a cruise? We've got a special look at a vacation that will please the whole family. That's today at noon, only on Midday Maryland.
Good Morning Maryland begins now with breaking news.
Okay, 6:30 now on this Friday morning, July the 12th, and we are following some breaking news out of Baltimore County. That shooting overnight, the Milford Mill area. So this is a live picture now off Liberty Road. You're looking at the Golden Dragon Bar and Grill. This happened just off Liberty Road at Millvale around 2 o'clock this morning. No word on the conditions of the victims or who might be responsible. It looks like they cleared off some of the evidence markers, so police may be wrapping up that scene of a shooting overnight in the Milford Mill area of Baltimore County. We'll bring you more information on that story as we get it. It is 6:30 right now on this Friday morning. There will be no relief for commuters into downtown Baltimore today. Lauren's been talking about the list of roads that are still closed. That is not expected to change over the weekend. Even with the Orioles playing tonight, WMAR2 News' Mark Roper is live near that sinkhole at the intersection of Howard and Pratt Street. So, Mark, what is the latest on the repairs to that big intersection?
Good morning, Christian. Well, city officials say they still have no idea when these roads will reopen here, but crews hit a snag in their progress with Thursday's rain, and a few workers just returned to the hole about 15 minutes ago to check it out. You can see some of them here right now walking over towards the hole. Yesterday, though, they put up a tarp over their work and set up a system of pipes to keep water out of the sinkhole, and before the rain came, they filled much of the sinkhole with a flowable fill. It's a material which sets similar to concrete but is easier to remove. The problems at Howard and Pratt Street started Monday morning, first with a water main break, then an underground vault collapse and fire in a manhole. Then the next day, a handicap ramp at the light rail station here collapsed into a sinkhole. The Department of Public Works hasn't been able to confirm the two incidents are related, but together, these two events caused the shutdown of a major intersection affecting people in their cars, buses, and light rail.
There's so much traffic. I can't get into work in less than like 30 minutes. It takes me like an hour to get home now. Something like this is right in the middle of the harbor where the most traffic is, and they have this whole road closed off.
Now, the Orioles are back at home. They are playing tonight and tomorrow. And so the Orioles advise if you are coming down to catch them play to make sure that you do give yourself some extra time to get through this mess. We are live in downtown Baltimore. Mark Roper, WMAR2 News.
Okay, Mark, we'll be watching how it goes. Thanks very much. Meantime, immigration raids put on hold last month are now expected to happen this weekend. The New York Times is reporting that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE agents, could start those raids in 10 cities on Sunday, including Baltimore. They say they're targeting around 2,000 people living in the U.S. illegally who have criminal records. Now, the raids were initially scheduled to happen June the 23rd, but President Trump postponed them, he said at that time, to give Congress 2 weeks to work out an agreement to cut down on illegal immigration. So far, that has not happened. Last week, Mayor Jack Young said Baltimore police would not be cooperating with ICE in doing those raids. The U.S. Senator from Maryland, Ben Cardin, responded to that announcement of these raids. He says the federal government cannot be in the business of tearing apart families, including, he says, separating American citizen children from their immigrant parents. The senator continues, President Trump needs to refocus his attention. It is 6:32 right now. Police in Harford County are looking for a pair of men they're calling the Dropbox Bandits. This is some video of them being caught on camera getting away with rent checks. The tenants placed them in what they thought were secure boxes at apartment complex. Those guys walked right in and took them. WMAR 2 News' Jeff Hager has that story this morning.
When the office is closed here at the Highland Commons Apartments in Aberdeen, you can still pay your rent by dropping your payment off in this drop box. But that recently backfired on Candace Folks.
I was called by my landlord, or assistant property manager, and she said, how'd you pay your rent, Mrs. Folks? And I said, I paid money order. She said, well, we have a problem. It was stolen.
Stolen by two men caught on cameras. They broke into the box and made off with almost a dozen checks and money orders. It also happened a few blocks away at the Affinity Old Post Apartments, and police have clear images of the suspects. If only someone could step forward to identify them.
If you look at the video, someone will recognize these individuals, and we'd like to get to the bottom of the matter immediately. And more importantly, for those folks that deposited rent checks, just be vigilant, check your account, see if any checks were cashed.
The management at both complexes called more than 300 tenants to notify them of the thefts and have since identified well over a dozen victims between them. For Candace Folks, the theft of her money order is not only a costly inconvenience.
I keep my receipts, so I have to send out a $15 fee. It's just complicated. Now I have to pay my rent again.
It's also the price of now having to fear for her personal safety.
I'm worried about everything and anything. My name, my address, the knowing where I live. You never know nowadays. I'm really worried about it. It really scares me. I will never put another in my Dropbox again. I'll always hand it to my landlord so I know that my rent's paid right.
In Aberdeen, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
6:34 right now. Firefighters in Howard County getting a few new stations and some new equipment to go with them. Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services has announced the opening of 3 new fire engine companies. A minimum of 4 firefighters will be assigned to each of them. Fire officials say these additions will help increase staffing and put more fire engines into neighborhoods that need them. 6:35 right now. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Annette Charles for that forecast.
All right, Christian, it's a good forecast for today. So it's going to be drier. We're not dealing with all that rain, the flooding that we had yesterday, but it's still a little humid, especially this morning. And then as we go into the afternoon, we will have plenty of sunshine, but the sunshine's already out there with a few clouds. And then we are going to be talking another heat wave, and that will begin today as we have those temperatures in the 90s, and that's going to stick around for a while. We take you outside to Parkton this morning, and yes, we do have lots of sunshine, a few clouds hovering. This will be the scenario as we go through the rest of today. Temperatures are a bit cooler when compared to yesterday at this time. These numbers are in the upper 60s back off to the north and west, and the low 70s across the eastern shore. And then there are the dew points. So we still do have those numbers in the upper 60s and 70s, so it's quite sultry out there for today. And then as we continue through the day, that high temperature right around 90. Lauren, over to you.
Thanks, Lynette. Trouble on the Harrisburg Expressway where a crash was just reported southbound at Middletown Road. The average speed has dropped to 11 miles per hour. There's also a crash in Harford County, not far from the Baltimore County line, Jarrettsville Pike at Schuster Road. If you're heading out in Edgemere, beware of an accident North Point Road at Wells Avenue. Another crash in Essex, Back River Neck Road at Turkey Point Road. And use caution on Route 7. The traffic light is out at Middle River Road. Treat this intersection as a 4-way stop. Unfortunately, it's a very hectic commute in downtown Baltimore, all following Monday's water main break. Howard Street is still shut down as a result between Conway Street and Lombard Street. Pratt Street impacted between Paca and Sharp, and then northbound 395 is blocked at Conway. There's no light rail service between North Avenue and Camden Yards. It's expected to be out for weeks. And new delays southbound 895, speeds dropping approaching the Harbor Tunnel. 95, 83 are clear, and the Beltway Christian nice and quiet here at Interstate 70.
Okay, Lauren, thanks very much. The R&B singer R. Kelly has been arrested again. That's why R. Kelly is trending in Baltimore right now. Coming up, new information on more than a dozen new charges that he is facing this morning. Plus, a lot of people have decided to ditch their cable provider and cut the cord, signing up for streaming services instead. But how do you know which one or ones are right for you? We'll help you break it down for you. Whether you are watching us right now through your computer, your phone, your Roku, or even just the old TV set. Live from Television Park in Baltimore, you're watching Good Morning Maryland. Okay, 6:40 right now, new this morning. Investigators plan to release new details today on 13 new sex crime charges against R. Kelly. Federal authorities arrested R. Kelly in Chicago yesterday on new charges that include enticement of a minor, child porn, obstruction of justice. He had been arrested in Chicago back in February on more alleged sex crimes. He is fighting those. He's pled not guilty. In May, a judge added 11 more sex crime charges to that case. Good Morning America has got a full breakdown of the new arrest of R. Kelly coming up at the top of the hour. It is 6:40 right now. Hip-hop artists and celebrities are rallying behind the rap artist A$AP Rocky. He has been detained in Sweden since last Tuesday. Officials there say there was a street fight in that country's capital, Stockholm, and he was arrested after that. Several stars, though, now, including Nicki Minaj, Jada Pinkett Smith, T.I., voicing support of the rapper. They have shared a change.org petition, in fact, calling for him to be released immediately. They claim A$AP Rocky is being held in inhumane conditions, but police in Sweden say he'll remain in custody until they finish their investigation into that fight. 6:41.